Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about Xiomara, or Zio the Dreamer. If you don't know who that is, this is her profile right here. We've talked about her before. We actually made a video right here, and this was about 4 months ago in May. And look, I have long hair, but we kind of went over her whole story, and so maybe I'll splice some of that video in here, but for those of you that might not be, familiar with Zio, she started her whole journey online, honestly, when she was very young. She was like 15 years old. Dr. Drew, who had this show at the time, ended up sending some of the previous winners of The Biggest Loser to her high school. And they filmed and they were like, we're going to help you lose weight, right? And what they did was they actually sent them to Xiomara's school when she was 15. And they ended up going there and saying, we are going to help you lose weight, which is actually crazy because they ended up showing up in her classroom and in the Biggest Loser t-shirts, which, it seems that she was okay with that and she was excited about it. But that is the last thing that I would have wanted as a 15-year-old in high school. So she's been in the public eye for a very long time trying to lose weight, and it has not gone well, basically. Over the years, things have just been getting worse and worse and worse until she got to a point where she was basically in the hospital, bedridden, could not move, almost passed away multiple times, had to be intubated multiple times while she was in the hospital.
So I technically have two iPhones, and one of them had, I can't even tell you how many drafts. And when I woke up from my second intubation, I've been intubated 3 times now, technically 4, but 3.
So she's been intubated multiple times, right, at that point.
And when I woke up, I was trying to put in my passcode so many times that the iPhone ended up locking itself. The only option it gave me was to erase iPhone. So I lost all my content, all my drafts. You guys, I was sad for weeks.
And a lot of it, had to do with her weight, had to do with a lot of other situations, but she became very much so no longer in control of her life, right? She was really struggling. And, there was a lot of circumstances that led her to that point, but things were looking bad. But then things kind of started to turn around. She was able to actually finally, after months in the hospital, she was able to get put in a treatment center. So a little bit less, you can't do anything, right? So she had a little bit more freedom. And during that, she had people visit her from this place that she was going to, which was called Paradise, which if you're not familiar with what that is, this is their Instagram, or this is their TikTok. And basically what they are is a place, it says a place of acceptance and love, right? But in reality, it is this place where this dude right here that you see seems to be the owner of the place. And he has this, it's basically a content house, right, for very large women. This is a house where this dude here, as you can see, has a bunch of plus-sized models that end up living there and making content out of there. It's almost like the Team 10 house from back in the day. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but, it's like a content creator house, but all of the content creators are very, very large women, right? And if we look at it's interesting, if we look at the tagged people in this, right, it's Hellcat, and then we have Thicky, Baby K, whoever these other people are, right? But the person that runs this, his name is SSBBW Fan 73. Not hiding the weirdness of this whole situation, right? And so she ends up moving in or just being at this house. I don't know exactly how it works, but her being at this house, I think, really contributed to things getting so much worse. And Xiomara was, kind of part of that whole group. And then when she got put in finally in this less constrictive hospital type of thing, this treatment facility, they were visiting her, and things seemed to be getting better for her. Things seem to finally be looking up. And sadly, that seems to have taken a turn for, I don't want to say the worst. Like, obviously, there are worse things that could happen, but things have not been looking good. So if we go to her, TikTok page, and we click on this video right here. So in this video, we're not going to be going over the whole thing, but she is, I think that she is still in that treatment facility, but she is talking about how she is not feeling well, and she hasn't been feeling well for the past few days, and she feels that she has food poisoning. And there are a lot of people saying food poisoning doesn't last a week, right? If we see this comment right here, doesn't sound like food poisoning. Hope you feel better, right? So like people are like, I'm not really sure if that is food poisoning. And then so now let's go to this video. So in this video, she talks about the fact that she actually is having gallbladder issues. That seems to be the problem here. And, she kind of talks about her feelings on that. And so I want to shout out to this person, Q, right here, for tagging me so I could see this. I appreciate you guys always letting me know when things are going down. Please always do that if you can. Helps me out a lot. But we're going to be going over this video where she is kind of talking about these issues that she is having with the gallbladder.
Hi, guys. It's going to be just a short little video of me explaining stuff because I know my messages are bombarded with people asking me what's been going on, where I'm at, so I'm just going to make it really short and simple. I did ask on Instagram what recommendations you guys had because I thought it was food poisoning. It wasn't. I'm in the hospital. Yeah. I did not think I'd be going to the hospital again after everything I've been through.
And seriously, like, I can imagine that would be devastating, man. Like, being in the hospital, like, she was, like I said, if you haven't watched that original video, I highly recommend it if you're not sure what I'm talking about. But for the amount of time that she was in the hospital for months and, like, not knowing if she was going to ever get out of the hospital, it has to be absolutely devastating to be back in that situation. Like, feeling like you're taking steps forward and then, bam, you're right back where basically kind of where you started. It's got to be very frustrating for sure.
Since January, but I am in the hospital. I turned 30 in a couple of hours, and it is what it is. It's fucking life. Possibly gonna be having surgery for the first time in my life ever.
Obviously devastating to be spending your 30th birthday in the hospital. Like, that's definitely not an enjoyable experience.
A lot of you guys said it was like, it could be my appendix or my gallbladder. It's my gallbladder. I've never had my gallbladder taken out. So yeah, there's a lot of risks, obviously, with the person my size, and I am worried. They're telling me an easy fix would be to put a tube in to drain it out. I don't want to do that. I don't know. Something tells me, I always go with my gut, and my gut is telling me just to do the surgery. Because why would I want a Band-Aid just to stop the pain for a couple months?
I mean, honestly, I feel like that's a pretty good decision. Obviously, I don't really know all of the, the intricacies of everything that's going on here, but I understand, like, the feeling of, like, I don't want to put a Band-Aid on it and then have to go through this pain again, because from what I understand with gallbladder pain, it is very, 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 very painful. It's actually pretty common in people that have actually lost a lot of weight as well. A lot of times, especially people that have lost a lot of weight relatively quickly, just because of everything that's kind of going on in your body. It's just a relatively common thing. Amanda, my girlfriend, she had to get her gallbladder removed when she had lost, the bulk of her weight. It's like something that I see quite often, honestly, in the weight loss community. So I definitely feel for her, because from what I've heard, it is excruciatingly painful.
And then, like, get my gallbladder taken out later on. So I don't know. So yes, I'm in the hospital. I thought, ow, I can't even laugh. It hurts so bad. I'm in so much pain. And I've been at a skilled nursing facility, rehab, learning how to walk again and everything. I have been doing well, like, honestly. I haven't been sharing my progress much, but I have been doing well. And I thought, wow, it's so depressing to turn 30 in a skilled nursing. No, it's actually more depressing to turn 30 in a hospital, in an ER, about to have surgery. So, yeah. This year, man, this year, I swear, if there's no comeback after this, I lose faith in everything. Like,
I mean, I really hope that there is a comeback, but the thing is that while obviously there's quite a bit of things that are out of her control, there are still so many things that are in your control, right? And I think like really, really taking that seriously is, at this point, it's life and death, right? Like you have to take it seriously and get away from the people, you know, in my opinion, you know, these people right here. I don't think that these people, while they maybe are very accepting of the situation that you're in and make you feel nice and loved and accepted, and these people are, oh my God, they're just like me. They either do not have your best interests at heart, or they simply cannot have your best interests at heart, because at a place like that, your size is currency, right? Your size is what makes you money, what makes them money, right? I'm sure that this place, this BBW Paradise place, it's not a charity, right? If you're not bringing in the money, if you're not doing things for them, you're not going to be around anymore. And I just think that regardless of how nice the young women are, might be to Xiomara, right? How nice this dude might be, whatever, like the reality is your weight is unaliving you. Okay, it is going to put you in an early grave. That is just a fact. And the sooner you take that deadly serious and do what you need to do to get that weight off, like, I think the better, right? The sooner that you decide to do that stuff, the better. And the sooner that you realize that maybe these people are nice to you, but in the long run, they don't have your best interests at heart, I think that is very important. And I'm sure it's very hard for Xiomara, right? Because I assume she doesn't have that many people that are supportive. And as you can see in the comments, a lot of times they're not the nicest, right? So like wanting to have that community of people with you, I'm sure feels almost necessary. But man, from all of the videos that I made of Xiomara and like the time that I've spent researching her, like she seems like a funny person, like a relatively nice person. And so it sucks to see this happen. But when these things happen and you just keep going back to the thing that is putting you in that position, at some point you have to be like, well, it just doesn't seem like this person actually wants anything to actually change for themselves, right? And so I do hope that this is a wake-up call and like she actually starts making some changes from this, right?
this year has been just one for the books. Like, I don't know. I'm tired of being strong. Between you and I, like, I really am. But, and the fact that I'm alone all the time in a different state, just cherry on top. But, yeah, if you could just send a little prayer. If I do decide to do surgery, that it goes well, you know. And, I don't know. I don't need any birthday wishes. I just want surgery. Like, I want it out. So, I love you guys. I'll be back on later, and I'll try to post maybe some drops or something.
So, I mean, that's the current situation right now. It's really not looking great, and like, it's just sad because this is so true. And I mentioned this in my first video, and she even talked about it herself. She was like, 4 months ago, because she was out for a while. She was like, 4 months ago, I was walking around, I was dancing, and I felt completely fine. And then this happened, and it just completely sidelined her. And that has been going on basically this entire year, right? That happened in January, and it is now September, right? We are at the end of September now. That's kind of crazy, but like, it's been an entire year of your life has been taken from you, right? And that, I don't think it's fair, right? And I'm sure people will be like, well, you know, she's the size that she is and she deserves it. I don't necessarily agree with that, because there are plenty of people that are her size and bigger that this doesn't affect. But that's the problem, is that you're kind of gambling, especially when you get to Xiomara size or someone around that size, because you don't know. Some people's bodies does handle it a little bit better, and some people, it just completely wrecks you. And these situations are the things that I don't want to see happen. And this is what happens though. Like, this is what happens. This is a, 29, 30-year-old now person that is living like a geriatric patient at end of life, right? Obviously, I'm truly hoping that is not what happens, and that's not the case here. But like that, this is what you see, right? Like when you hear about people's grandparents at the end of their life, the last year was always spent in a hospital or always spent, like that's what you see. And so I hope that things get better. I hope that this surgery helps her out. And I genuinely do. Like, there would be nothing more that I would love than to see her get out of this and truly make a recovery. And I'm not even saying like lose weight and be fit, but like lose weight to where she can be mobile and move around and live a normal life. Like that's all really I'm hoping for here. I'm not like expecting Xiomara to become a freaking fitness influencer and be deadlifting 400 pounds or anything like that. But I just hope that I'm able to see her walking around outside and making content that she wants to, and that people are laughing at her personality instead of the situation that she's in. That's the situation right now. I would love to know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.